Okay, we are recording. So Kelly is going to talk to us about Team Z and just like, not just, you know, I'll ask some questions too as we go to help people kind of like, not just with Team Z as a tool, but also like why is it helpful and to be organized in your business or to have a good efficient system and tracking and stuff like that. But I did want to say, so I'm in this group. I totally feel like I lucked out in getting into it. I had to fill out that application. I think you have to be Star Diamond to be in it or higher is my guess. But anyway, I'm in this group and Carl Deichler's running it on Facebook and it's called I'm Here to Help. And it's so weird because there's probably like almost 1,000 coaches in there. And like Brandy Botts is a participant and Lindsay Matway is a participant. Like they're not leading the group. They're like, and so I've just been like sitting there, like feeling like if I don't want to say anything because I'm afraid I'm going to get kicked out because but I'm pretty sure that, I had to fill out like, it was kind of like an extensive application. Like you had to like answer like kind of deep questions, I guess. So I'm like, okay. And then it was a corporate person who added me. So I'm like, okay. But anyway, it's really interesting because one of the things last week was you're supposed to share was what are your limiting beliefs? Like what are you just being self-aware and like what are you believing that are limiting you in this business? And like to hear like 5-star diamond coaches, 15-star diamond coaches, multi-superstar diamond, like millionaires club coaches, like answering this question. And they really weren't that different than like my limiting beliefs. Like I'm not good enough, or I can't, I can't hold it together, or if I do, just all kinds of stuff. And so it's been really, really weird, really cool. But anyway, Team Z, I've noticed it a ton more because I don't think that people use it that much in TKO, like our downline. And so I don't really hear about it a lot. I heard about it last summer at Summit from my friends who are in a different downline. And they were like, it changed my business. Like they loved it. And so I was like, okay. And they were explaining it to me. And so then I went to try to do it, signed up for the month trial, and I just didn't do it. Like I didn't watch, because it sent me like emails of videos and I just, for whatever reason, I just didn't do it. And so then when it came time, to like sign up or not, I just didn't do it. And so, I know people use it differently in different ways and stuff like that. But anyway, it was really encouraging to see in this group with these, huge leaders, people are using Team Z and they're like posting their, like a screenshot of their, like, what do they call it? Like I don't know, they call it something like I zeroed out or something like that.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah. So they got their, their numbers and stuff, and so I'm like, oh, that is like such a nice thing. But anyway,
cool.
So I'll have you take it away and kind of explain like what it is, why does it appeal to you, and like what you've been learning. Because you said you've been watching some of the videos and stuff.
Yeah. And I'll just preface by saying like, it's not even been a week that I've been using this. So it's not like I'm, super involved with it or anything, but I've just already noticed the connections I've made with like rekindled relationships that I have, with people who I haven't talked to in like 10 years, and just like building those relationships again has like given me so much fire, I guess. And just, so I don't know, I just feel so good about this company, like bringing me that much closer to building relationships and teaching me how to. I took some notes, so I'll kind of go from those. These are some of the questions that I've had since becoming a coach. How do I invite without sounding salesy or burning bridges with family and friends? Where do I even start with inviting? Who should I talk to and what do I say? how do I deepen relationships and build trust? And how can I create leads and build onto my warm market? And I think I was just overcomplicating the process, that would answer some of these questions, because we have such incredible training, from our upline. We've got webinars after webinars and videos on YouTube and, our TKO page. But it's like every single piece of training, like I feel like I heard, this business is so easy, you guys. And I kept thinking, if it's so easy, like, why am I struggling so much? I'm like almost 6 months into the business and I'm still struggling like crazy. So I went through the Invite Academy, and that's where I heard about Teamzy, which the Invite Academy was amazing. And I would highly recommend that to anybody, struggling with inviting. But I figured out that I needed something that taught me, not just that I need to talk to people and need to build relationships and deepen my current relationships, but I need to know how to do that, literally, how do I start these conversations, So Teamzy helps you step by step know what to do, know what to say, how to do it. Like it's so intuitive, like everything about the system, which is amazing.
And it's created for Beachbody coaches.
It is. It's created by a Beachbody coach.
Yeah.
It's this this guy named Eric who would coach businesses how to build their business. And so he became a Beachbody coach, and he kind of took Beachbody and did the same thing with that and created it for Beachbody. So when you go into the website, you can choose Beachbody, but there's also other networking companies like Roden and Fields has one, Young Living has one. Like, I don't know, it's really, I guess, extensive on like the amount of different network marketing companies that have this functionality or whatever.
Okay.
So let's see. Going over that. Yeah, it's basically a networking tool to help you easily and efficiently build your business. It's all about relationship marketing. And the other day on our Fit Bosses United page, I posted that we need to get into the make someone's day mindset, remember? And like that really spoke to me. Like that's how we need to go about creating these conversations, is think about how can I make someone's day. And that came from one of the videos in Teamzy. It's like, that's one of their hashtags, is like make someone's day. Like you need to get into that mindset when you're creating your relationships. Which in essence is relationship marketing. When you meet new people and you're creating deeper relationships with the people you already know, they say, relationships first. If you focus on the relationship, you won't burn your bridges. You're going to build your bridges. You're not going to hurt your relationships. People are going to try and avoid you because they're afraid you're going to sell them something, and other MLMs do that. Teamzy helps you connect with your prospects, your customers, your coaches, and then your follow-ups. There are scripts already available to you to tweak and use however you want, or you can create your own scripts and save them so you can use them each time.
Oh, nice.
You'll export your contacts from Facebook and import them into Teamzy. You'll export your customers and your coaches from your back online office on Team Beachbody, and then you'll import those in. So when you go into your Teamzy account, like it has it all like filtered for you. Like all your prospects are here, your customers are here, your coaches, and then.
So how does it know?
Because
you have to, like, go through.
Huh?
you have to go through and say, like from Facebook, like there's a way to export all my contacts from Facebook without me adding them manually, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the manual part is that I have to label the person. Like, so like, for example, you or somebody coming in from Facebook, like I would have to like say that they're my challenger or they're my free group person or they're right. How's that work?
I don't think I had to like, well, you can, I haven't watched the video on this, but I guess there are tags. So yeah, like a label. So you could say this person bought the 21-day fix, like a 21-day fix can be a tag and you can tag them in that. You can say free challenge group and tag them with the free challenge group. So so you'll kind of know where everybody is at. And I haven't done that yet. I think we talked about like the rating system the other day, like you give them a star 1 to 5. If you give them a 1 star, they're never going to pop up on the rotation of contacting them because you gave them such a low, like I have random people who I would probably never talk because I can't see any way in my mind where they would actually even want to talk to me, period. I don't know why I'm friends with these people on Facebook, but I have these people. I think we all
like, or like, you have some like weird uncle or like, or just like, over the years. And really truthfully, like I'm probably to the point where I probably should just unfriend those people.
Exactly. I know. But
you do have some that you're like, this is not my tribe. This is not I want on my team, but I'm friends with them and that's just what it is.
Right.
Okay.
So everybody, when you go in and you upload everything, and so all your customers are uploaded, everybody starts out as has 3 stars. So you need to go through every one of your contacts and give them, a 4 or 5 or a 2 or 1 or whatever, however you see. And so if you give them 5 stars, like I gave Sarah Domkowski the 5 stars because she is an awesome, like she's always commenting in our challenge group. She's on Shakeology. She's got the Alexis and she's constantly posting, like she's doing great. So like I gave her 5 stars so she'll pop up more often for me so I can keep in better contact with her.
Okay.
So 3 stars will, if you connect with somebody who you gave 3 stars, they're going to have a follow-up triggered 30 days from when you contacted them.
Okay.
So that'll pop up.
What's 5 star? Do you know?
Huh?
What's 5 stars?
I think it's a week, I want to say. I think. And I invited her to the coaching opportunity the other day. Haven't heard anything yet. But I don't know why she doesn't.
She always tells me she's going to.
I know she does. And she didn't even respond. And like she's a good friend, so I don't know, maybe she just didn't like see it or something. But if I see her this week, I'm gonna ask her about it because I had that kind of like relationship with her or whatever, where I don't, at this point, like I don't mind asking her about it, which I guess is the whole point of it. Like get to, get to a relationship place where you feel comfortable talking about it. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, so Teamzy will generate connecting opportunities every single day for every single one of your contacts.
And it does the work for you, is my understanding.
All of the work for you.
Once you do that part, that upfront, like getting your contacts and kind of getting, where they are, then you also put in information about your goals, right? Like first, like you put in. So for people, and I think that's interesting, like for people who are like, because it can be monetary. Like if you're like, no, I this is what I want to be making by that.
That's what and like that's how they kind of divide it out, like how many people you're going to be contacting. Like they have this whole system. I think like they say, how much do you want? Dream a little bit, like how much do you want to make 12 months from now? And I think I put like 120,000. Like, is it realistic? Probably not. But I
Probably
mean,
a year from now, yeah.
you set that goal, and then like it says like, okay, that means you need like 3,500 connects like with people over the course of a year, which sounds like a lot, but like when you go into it and it says, you know, okay, I need to connect with 9 prospects every day. So like it goes and it gives you 9 prospects, and you go and you just say, you know, you send them a message that says, hey, I was thinking about you, hope you're doing great, you know, hope to talk to you soon, or something like that. Like, you know, and what I've done, because even like just a random message like that can seem weird if you haven't talked to these people in like 10 years. Okay, did you really think of me? You know? So like I'll go, if I see them on my prospects list, I'll go onto their Facebook page and look at what they last posted, and, you know, I'll like it and comment on it, and then I'll send them the message and say, hey, you know, was just thinking about you. Haven't talked to you in a while. Hope you're having a great day or whatever. And like, that's how I've started all these conversations. Like you know, I don't know. It's just crazy. And then like it starts snowballing because you get all these messages back. It's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, so you put in like, not just, you know, monetary, whatever, like what are your goals, your dreams, and generate that.
There's this whole screen that asks you questions about your why. And when you log in to TeamZ, like it posts your why in this little box so you can see it every day, which is cool. Like it's a reminder of like why you're doing this, why this is
right. So it's not just like, because if you go into it thinking like, well, I just want this money.
Right. No, absolutely
You're not going to be connecting with these people like
right.
out of a place. So okay. So it kind of takes you through.
But like the monetary aspect of it allows them to kind of hash it out and tell you how many connects you'll be needing to make if you're wanting to hit a certain goal like that. So right. It kind of, I guess it helps them on the back end to kind of figure out.
And they're not, and what I like too, because he's Beachbody, is the generation of it and the numbers is not based on like all these prospects saying yes.
Mm-hmm. You know? Oh, no. Like, well, I mean, in a way, like you're wanting to build relationships and get to a point where you've built all these bridges with people that you know and love, and your friends and family and everything. Like that Eric, the creator of this, says he even hates the whole go for no. He's like, why not go for yes? Like, you know, build these relationships with every person. Like get yeses. Like, I don't know. He just had a funny way of saying it. And I mean, like, I know that the whole go for no is a good way to think about it, but I thought his take on it was kind of funny.
Yeah. Okay. What else?
But yeah, like when you upload your customers, like it's everything past, present, your customers and your coaches, so nobody's falling through the cracks. So like if you haven't followed up with a past customer, like he has messages for that. Like, okay, you haven't followed up in a long time. Like he has a script for that. Like, sorry, it's been a while or whatever. But so yeah, I thought that was really cool. Like nobody's falling through these cracks. Like you're talking to everybody you ever talked to before. You're rebuilding these relationships.
I really like that, because that's happened to me where like I have a challenger and they're great and I followed up for a while, and then I kind of stopped because they didn't respond or they stopped, and then it's been 6 months and you're like, you know, you just feel like annoying by that, you know, or it's just too, it's just, you just forget. And if you don't have any way of tracking, you know, people use Streak and people use other ways of tracking. But I like this idea that kind of covers all the ground, like, and it does that work for you of generating the names. Because when you use something like Streak or Excel or just whatever, you're the one that has to write down their name, or, you know, whatever, and then go, okay, I'm going to follow up with them in 1 week and remind yourself. Whereas with this, like, the names literally pop up for you. Once you do that front work, the names will, like, you'll have your, if I'm correct, it's like connects, and then it's like invites or something, like there's like
Mm-hmm.
4
Yes.
categories. And so the name, doesn't it give you the names? Like,
Yeah, I mean it, and everything is logged, like every conversation. Like, okay, I sent a message to my friend Jason for, I haven't talked to him. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember the last time I talked to him, but I had a conversation with him. I sent him a message and said, hey, was just thinking about you. What are you up to? Hope you're having a great
sorry.
day. And like there, you basically copy whatever message you sent, you paste it in like the connect box, and it wants to know like what your conversation was. Like, so you paste it, and then it like logs that activity for you. So when you have a follow-up, when it generates the follow-up, like 30 days from whenever I sent that message, I'll be able to go back and be like, okay, this was our conversation, and then kind of go from there.
What happens if you talk in between that time?
I mean, if it's you can go in and log it for sure. Like,
Oh, okay.
go in, yeah, just search the name, and if you have something that, if you actually did invite or something, you could go in and
Move them or,
mhm, mhm,
okay.
yeah. Um, let's see. Yeah, I love that there's really no planning aspect. I feel like when I would sit there with a sheet of paper, I'd have to be like thinking. Okay, who are these people? Who am I talking to next? Like, and that takes time. Like, I have to sit there and think of all the people that I know, and who I should talk to, and like who do I envision on my team? Like, it's good to have that in mind, I guess. But like, Teamsy takes your contacts and like gives you suggested contacts based on the star rating that you gave them. Like, if it's somebody who you could see like, oh, they're going to be a customer soon. Like, I've had little conversations with them. I can envision you'll give them maybe a 4-star. So they're going to pop up more frequently. So I love that there's like no planning of who do I need to talk to today. Like, it does that for you. It generates
Right.
something new every single day.
And that's what was appealing to me about these coaches in this, like when people use it, once they're to that point, once they're set up, it's like they just make it seem like they're literally opening their laptop. Who do I have? Like, yeah, there's no thinking. It's just like, who am I talking to today? Boop, boop. Oh, and it tells them, okay, then that's what I'm doing. Zero it out. I got to do 9 of those, 4 of those, and it just makes it feel so much less stressful. So I do have a question. So as you're adding friends, then like once your contacts are in there and then you go to add to your network, what do you do? How do you
can say you're keeping up with your Teamsy account and you're adding to your network every day. There's an add button that you click, and then you just add name, email, phone number, like whatever information you have. You don't have to add all the information, but that's just an easy way rather than uploading, like exporting and uploading again.
can just add it every day to Teamsy and give it a star rating at that point. Do they tell you based on your goals? Do they generate how many people you should be adding? Oh, good. Yeah. So it's part of your power hour. Like, it's basically like a power hour, but it takes that step out of like the thinking and the numbers and stuff like that.
Well, yeah. And like, I always wondered, like, how is a power hour an hour? Like, if I literally sat down, like taking Teamsy out of this, like, I don't know. I know that I'm still thinking that I'm like complicating the whole process and everything. But like, if I was doing it the way everybody says they're inviting and everything, that would take me hours, like to invite, to do my Facebook social media posts, to do everything that like is part of that. It would take me so long. And so the fact that he already has scripts generated, of course, like personally, like I like to personalize it a bit, but that takes a couple minutes, not I don't know. It takes so much of the thinking out of it, which
Yeah, you probably just are thinking too much.
I know I am. Like, I do that. You ask Ryan, he'll tell, he'll tell you.
Yeah.
I
Well,
overthink.
and also it's like, it's hard because it's like, well, once you actually do a power hour consistently, it gets easier and faster, and you think of those things quicker. So yeah, but you have to get to that place. And so then, and if you're already an overthinker, kind of thing, you just get overwhelmed and stuck.
Well, it's funny, like listening to the Invite Academy, and like, how people post questions, and whoever's live will try and answer them. Like, I hear people posting questions, like exact questions that I have, that I know I'm not crazy, and I know I'm not the only one who's like struggling with this. So that's why, like, I wanted to chat about it today, is like,
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to admit that I need a little hand holding through this, like, and it's made it so easy. And I guess that's what I love so much about it, is like, especially working full time, I don't have all day to like sit and plan all this out. And I'm like, how am I going to even succeed at building relationships unless I have something,
It's kind of like having an assistant.
It really is. Like, yeah.
Because I even think like I'm pretty, like, I've got, like I know what to say now. Like I have scripts saved in Evernote, or I just know and stuff. And I know, like, if you absolutely don't know who to think of, like, go to your posts that people have liked. Now I know. Now I'm even going to people's posts, like for connecting. It doesn't have to be a health and fitness post. I used to just do the health and fitness posts. And my social media game had to be really good because, it was like I have to have somebody's transformation to go on there and ask them about their health journey. Well, now I'm even doing one step further of like, no, they liked a picture of my kid. There's, we're noticing each other. And so that's who I'll go comment on their stuff, like on their stuff, or I'll message them. How are you doing? Oh my gosh, your kid's cute. But that's still, that part doesn't take time, but the actual like going to thinking and going, oh, I don't have anybody. Who should I talk to? Yeah. And then going, okay, let me scroll and find a post. Okay, let me look at the likes. And then you're scrolling through and you're like, okay, that's a coach, that's a challenger. Oh, there's somebody. And then you got to go back to that post. You know what I mean? Like it does. It takes a lot more time than if it just told me.
Yeah, it filters everything, which is amazing.
So I really feel like I need to do this. But anyway, okay.
Well, just a side note or whatever, because during one of his like training videos, there's in TeamZ, there's like this click on that says like university. So it's like university training or whatever for TeamZ. And so there's all these training videos that he goes through. And I guess he's live because he's answering. The videos are like maybe 25 to 30 minutes, but there's like a whole like, there's lots of questions after. He's like, I'm going to hang around until all the questions are answered. So like ask your questions now and I'll go through. So like he goes through this training of like, maybe 20 or 30 minutes. And then he spends all the rest of the time answering questions. And there was somebody who said, I signed up for TeamZ however long ago, but I never ended up using it. Can I try it again or whatever? And he said to just go, or to message, I may have to go back and listen or look. But if you message their team and let them know the situation, like they'll like
let you,
refresh you or whatever, let you try it again. So
I do want to know, what about the trainings? And it could, some of it could just be that it clicked differently or whatever. But like, what about these trainings or videos, or the way he explained the concepts was different for you or clicked better for you than anything you'd watched in the past?
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just like that, the fact that he coached businesses in the past, like that's been his job forever. He said he's been a coach longer than he hasn't been. And so maybe it's just the way that he said certain things, but just like he went through every single step, like basically did a power hour in front of you, showing you like what he says
Uh-huh.
and like how he says it. And like he has this whole video on relationship marketing, and like he goes through how to build onto your warm market. Like when, for instance, when you have a customer, like you invite somebody to a challenge group and they're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to sign up for a challenge pack. And you say, great, we find that people who have friends or family or whoever doing this with them generally get even better results. Like, is there anybody else that you can think of
Yeah.
that I can contact for you? The way that he says it, is a lot more fluid or whatever, but like basically asking kind of for referrals without it being weird and icky. Like, is there anybody else that you'd like to join you in this? And like, they'll give you names or whatever. And like, you say, would you mind introducing us? Just so it's not weird. I don't know. The way he says it is like a lot, makes more sense and like is not weird or whatever, but it's just, I don't know. I guess just the fact that he went step, and I guess I needed somebody to like show me how to start these conversations, and he did a really, really great job at doing that. And even if I don't end up using TeamZ down the road, like just having this set up and like knowing in my mind how it works now, and like knowing how to talk to people, and even watching the videos, I found really helpful. So I feel like even if somebody said, okay, well, you can't use this system anymore, I'd be like, okay, well, at least like I know I need to go through every single one of my Facebook contacts and like start messaging A to Z, like just start.
Well, and that's I wanted you to say that because even that's what I want. Like, if you're watching this and you're like, well, I don't know about TeamZ, or I'm using.
Well, no, and seriously, like it's $30 a month. It's an investment. After the free trial, like you have to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
And like, he says why investing in your company is a good thing, and I agree with that. But at the same time, it's $30 a month. Like you need to.
So and so that's what I'm thinking. Like, it might not be for everybody. I don't want someone to sign up for this and then not use it. But if you are, I feel like there are people who are very stuck and feel like they're, and I do want to point out that in that group that I was telling you that I was in, people, a lot of coaches that have been around for even just 3 years and more, like, or 4 years and more, have said that there just wasn't as much training when they started, and how they have noticed now that there's so much available that it paralyzes coaches because it's too much. There's just so much and it's overwhelming. And so I came into that like prime of like, there's all this stuff. But at the same time, I didn't have someone like feeding it to me. You know what I mean? Like, so I did it all by myself. So I was always like searching, and like whatever I needed to learn about, I just Googled or I just YouTubed or so I never had like, you know what I mean? Anyone like kind of, and so I feel like if you're on my team, like I've been, oh, here, watch this, do this. There's this training that you can find this. And
it is overwhelming. I mean,
and even scripts, like you're saying, like you have to just find a few that work for you and save them and stick to them. But like, if you're always being given different scripts of what to say and ideas on how to start, it's like, you don't start. So anyway, my point is that TeamZ might not be for everybody on our team.
No, and I totally agree with that. Like the one thing that I learned from the Invite Academy, and I had no idea, but everybody's invite process is different. Like you got to figure out what works for you,
but you can do that within TeamZ. You can still be you and still be different and still be your own self. But I just think that sometimes people struggle. Like some people, like we need and thrive on you know, that simplicity, especially if you don't have time or if you're,
Yeah.
and I would say, I'm just saying this for the recording, if you are someone that's not doing a power hour right now, like truthfully, you're not asking yourself, you know, am I, then I would definitely consider it or do the 30-day trial. Like, just because you might need that, you know, you just might really need that kind of, it works for some, you know, whatever. So, anyway, I tried not to use it. Like, I've tried and tried not to track. And I track through, like, my tracking consists of like Messenger, which is terrible. And because that's going to be the, what do you say? The noisy mouse gets the cheese, or the greasy wheel gets the oil.
Yeah.
That's what ends up happening. I mean, I'll scroll back and I'll try, but it inevitably I'm coming up short. And I know that if I had been tracking it, whether Teamsy or whatever, or being better about that stuff, I would be further in my business. Like, I would have helped more people. I would have helped more people more efficiently, and stuff like that. But it does take the discipline up front of like, you know, you gotta watch the stuff. You gotta import it and do it. And then once you're kind of set up, it's not this daily battle, which I think is what you're describing, and how you feel like, okay, you're motivated, you're ready, you got your time management, you're ready to go. Okay, I'm supposed to do these things. This is my task. I'm going to do them. And then you get ready to do them. And it's like, it feels like so hard to start, right? Yeah. Not with Teamsy, I'm saying, like, normal.
Right. I know. And it would always be, and of course, like, this is before the whole eat that frog type thing. But like, invites would go last because that's what I'm least comfortable with. And so I would do everything else first. And then I'd be like, oh, my hour's up. Guess I'll invite tomorrow. You know?
Yeah. Right.
And like, it's just, so when I finally completed this power hour doing the invites first, I was like, dude, it's not even an hour up and I've already sent out all these messages. Like, this is amazing.
Feels good. And that's the stuff that'll move your business forward. Like, that's the stuff. Because I find, I mean, I'll spend an hour or two working, and it's good stuff. It's stuff that we have, you know, we need to do, but it's not business. It doesn't move my business forward. You know what I mean? Like, and stuff. So you have to make sure that you're doing those things. I will say, for those of you, like, if someone just wants, you know, we have the recorded power hours where it gives you what you're supposed to do and the times, but there are also power hours that I have seen where someone will share their screen and do it with you. Like, they will show you where they go, what they look up, what they say, that sort of thing. But again, I think that the advantage that Teamsy has is that it takes out the thinking, like, this is where I go. Okay, I have to think about that and then go find them, or, you know, and it makes it more efficient, honestly. I think some people can get things done even faster. But anyway, what else did I want to say?
I'll just say, like, the free trial is like, you don't put in your credit card or anything. It's like, you just sign up with your email and a password and starts it from there, which I thought was pretty awesome. Like,
so I think I didn't import my contacts, because that's where I was like, well, if I import my contacts, then I got to do it. You know what I mean? Like, and so I just think I set myself up for failure.
I would message them and be like,
oh, I'm sure they'll let me. I'm not worried about the money. I'm just thinking I have to decide. Like, I need to be like, I'm going to do this. Because if I'm going to import, because I have almost 5,000 Facebook friends and I have like 6,000.
That's true. I have like, I don't even, how many do I have? I think I have like not even 700 Facebook friends.
Right.
So going through and rating everybody.
I definitely think this is something, if you are a new coach within the last, you know, year, I think it's a no-brainer that you should. And I should, because I don't think I can manage. I don't think I'm going to be able to grow. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm kind of hitting a ceiling and I need something to like help me. But anyway, but enough about me. What else? Do you have anything else on your notes?
I have one more little little bit. It's he kind of goes over, and this is over the course of a couple different videos. So,
Okay.
But he goes over the importance of connecting with your coaches, and when you go through your power hour, it has you connect with, well, like I said, your prospects, your customers, your coaches, and then you follow up last. And he said, if you stop, and I'll say this in just a second, but if you stop contact with your coaches, they will quit and they will drop off just like a customer would without your connection. And that, Stephanie, who quit, that was my coach, and I didn't hardly contact her at all. I guess I wasn't really sure what to say or how to say it, or what her next steps would be, but I failed when it comes to being her upline coach.
She actually didn't quit yet.
No, she didn't, but she's gonna go inactive.
Yeah, that's all right.
For a couple different reasons, and she gave me different reasons, but I wonder if I know she wasn't able to invest in the Home Direct with Shakeology, but I just wonder if things had been different, if I would have kept in contact with her, how things would have shaken out, and if she would have gave it
right. You gotta wonder
so that kind of,
yeah. I understand. What would she have said? Hey, I'm feeling like I don't know how to reach out, and maybe you could have helped her. She would have bought, she would have sold a couple challenge packs. She would have felt good. She would have said technology right. Yeah, I know what you mean, for sure.
So I feel like I did her a huge disservice, but I don't know. She's still in my coaches, of course, and she'll always show up under there, because she will have been a past coach, and so I'll get I'll get activity generated for her, so I'll be able to connect with her longer down the road. And so
that happens. There are coaches that need to go back into the challenger minds. For me, how I treat them, sometimes I just am I know their potential, and I know coaches' potentials, and I see, they've told me their goals and their dreams, and I'm yeah. And so I have them, here as far as how to treat them, right? As a coach and a leader. But really, sometimes there comes a point where they just need to be loved on and treated like a challenger.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or somebody that even brand new to Beachbody at all. And so it's hard to make that switch or whatever. Okay. And I don't mean, as far as Teamsy, I don't mean backing off from contacting them. I mean almost, you know what I'm saying? Treating them like they're in a challenge group, or they need their health and fitness journey to.
Well, kind of like me after I, had those couple months off, I was I need to get back in. I think I can make the working out, a priority again. And I just needed to kind of get back in for me rather than, so I totally.
Yeah. Okay. What was that it on the notes?
Yeah, that was all of my notes.
Cool.
And if you're, on the fence about it or whatever, and, even the 30-day trial, if you look up how to slay your power hour in less than an hour, he has a video about that, and it takes you through the whole system. And that's
just to check it out for more. Maybe we can share that link in the team page.
Yeah, I can. And where?
In the team page. That'd be good. And then those videos in that universe, you're still in your 30-day trial?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've been able to absorb. So even if I feel like even if, someone wasn't going to commit to doing it, going through that stuff might be beneficial to
right now, I think it was just finding out who I needed to talk to, how to figure out, I don't know, just, I guess it was just maybe the step-by-step process. I needed to like watch somebody do a power hour, and like, because if, like I said, like if you took Team Z away, like I would feel confident. I'd be like, okay, well, I need to make an Excel spreadsheet, or I need to do something else. But like, I know, like,
it would take you a little bit longer because it wouldn't have the
it
names
would,
coming up.
but still, like, I would be able to like go through all my Facebook contacts and say, okay, I need to contact each one of these people, like depending on if it's one of those weird people who I need to just delete altogether. But yeah, like I even like watching the videos, and I don't know, hearing him talk about it, just because his enthusiasm is contagious, and you know, he just does a really good job of explaining the what and the why and the how. I guess the how is so important, or it was to me. So
yes, that's what it sounds like. But I do love that he still factors in the why and connects it to the how.
He was, I don't know, he might still be a Beachbody coach, and he was a successful one. You know, like he built this thing because he needed something that was efficient, you know, allowed him to be efficient in his business.
Yeah. And I think too, like looking at, you know, I think some part of me has looked at some successful coaches and been like, well, they're not good at tracking. Well, they're not good at, you know, they let people fall through the cracks. But then it's like, but then I've heard them say, well, I'll just say, like, Brandy has admitted, like, she and you know, she said in that group that like where she has been, how she has coached in the last 2 years because of like going through the divorce with Jason and everything like that, like just everything in her own self-doubt and stuff was wildly different than how she coached before that. And so, well, I've been coaching for 2 years, so I've only known, you know what I mean, like, so I put the association that like, oh, well, I can wing it, and I can a lot, and I can, you know what I mean? Like, and still reach this, but truthfully, you know, you can't, like, that's not how she got there. You know what I mean? Like she was diligent about inviting, not that she used Team Z, but like so I think about those things. And what was my point? Just like she has said that like she has some, you know, she's let go of it, but like deep regrets on like people falling through the cracks, or just not being as intentional with her coaches that, you know, or things like that. And wasn't it just last week? Was that the call we were on where they said the Yelp review? That kind of like goes along with this subject. Like if someone were to write a review about your,
that's what Lindsay Matway said on her call.
Oh, right. Yes. The National Wake Up Call. And then Brandy and Chico just kind of reiterated it. Right. Those were both really, Lindsay Matway's, those were so good. But yeah. And that's so true. Like when these challengers, you know, come in and your coaches, like, gosh, what do my coaches say about me? Or, you know what I mean? Like my past coaches, the ones that have quit, or like the challengers that I haven't seen into, you know what I mean? Like, and of course you don't want to dwell on that and like let that fear hold you back, but thinking I'm going to make it the best for these newer people, like, or from here on out, I'm going to be the best coach, or I'm going to be intentional. And I think that Team Z or something like that, like a tracking, helps us do that without feeling burned out. And that's key, because you don't want to be, you know, we don't have time, and we don't want to just be like, you don't want to just take the joy out of it. You want to be able to do these things because these are your goals and this is your why and you love it. And like you've said, and what I want you to say, wrap us up with, I guess, is just how you, like, it's so businessy and like type A kind of, but at the same time, you've said just even in this past week, like how surprised by the joy that you've gotten from like talking to people.
Well, yeah, because like when you think about it, like I was, you know, it's hard to, I overthink everything. I know I do, but, but like, you know, I'm messaging these people, and at first I'm like, okay, it feels like I have a hidden agenda, which you know, you could say that you do or whatever, but another way of thinking it, which is the way I prefer to think about it, is like, so far, Beachbody has allowed me to talk to these people who I may have never talked to again in my life, like, and make, and like, rekindle these relationships that, like, some of my best friends that I used to have and like haven't talked to in years. And then, like, because of Beachbody and because of like the suggested connects that Team Z had me make, like, I went in and messaged them and had great conversations with these people. And like, I don't know, like, that doesn't seem type A to me. That seems like it's an
Fun. Yeah. And like,
it is. I mean, and it was, and I'm, you know, I'm getting and at first it was like weird because I hadn't, you know, really messaged anybody just kind of out of the blue like that. But, and I was almost surprised at the response I was going to get. And like, you know, you don't contact somebody for so long and you wonder if they're going to be like, why is she messaging me? But like, if you're not trying to be salesy for them, which you shouldn't be,
right.
you know, and you're just creating a conversation. I don't know. It's just so it's fun. It's cool. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a good feeling about it. And I feel kind of funny, like we're talking it up and I haven't even, like, it hasn't even been very long, but like, just from the relationships that I've built and deepened over the course of a week even is just incredible. So
yeah, no, I remember feeling that way when I was like the first probably 6 months of my business. Like, I felt so excited just because it wasn't like it wasn't like about the Success Club point or the money or whatever. It was just the habits that Beachbody was having me do, and I was following, and I was just like, I'm going to do it. Just really truly did bring all this, you know, I didn't realize how lonely I was before. And like, and also it helps you to be others focused. Like, it really does. If you're going, cause you're like, it's a blessing. It's a blessing to learn about.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, like, when I think about it, and like, I messaged people who I probably, like I said, would have never talked to again, just because they're not in my circle or whatever. They're outside my circle. They're, you know, friends who I had in the past who I would like you know, you like their stuff, but like, that's not deepening a relationship. That's not building anything. It's just hitting a like button is super easy, but like, taking the time out to actually build and deepen a relationship, like, I know, you know, I don't know. It's just, when I think about that, like, I may have never had a conversation with you ever again if I hadn't, you know, been involved with Beachbody. And it just, I don't know, that in and of itself is crazy to me.
It is. And that's what I think too, beyond warm market, with your cold market, the blessing is you will be able to say, I, like Ashley, for me, I never would, well, and you too, Kelly, like, I knew you, but I never would have known you like this. And Ashley, I can truly, genuinely say, like, we would have never met. So it's like, yeah, you know, like, Beachbody is this vehicle and these are the tools and this is the things, but remembering why, like, you know, this blesses the crap out of us, even if we don't earn a dime. And also it's like, it's just cool. It is. It's so cool and you never know where people are at. Like, other people are lonely and other people want to talk about their lives. So like, being there to listen and like genuinely care about them, and like, not for the sake of like, I'm finding what I can prescribe you with.
Right. No, I know. And like, at first it kind of felt that way, but when a sale didn't even come up, or like when Beachbody didn't even come up, and like, then it didn't feel that way anymore. Like, we just genuinely had an awesome conversation, like, you know, with multiple people. And so that, I like that aspect. And it's even to a point where like, I'm going to post about our free challenge group next about, or I'm going to post about the free challenge group next Monday this week. And I even feel like comfortable inviting some of the people that I talked to this week. Like it's like, that's what I've been missing, is like, didn't want to just message people out of the blue and say, do you want to come to my free challenge group? Like, no. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't talked to you.
I think it's different too when someone tells you, like when Jen Richardson says, hey, if you start what happens is you're connecting with these new friends, you're having fun. A week or two later, you feel comfortable inviting them to your free group or coaching. That's what she says.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's different when someone tells you that and then you go into it thinking about that, right? Like I'm connecting and I'm hoping to have a good conversation enough to where next week I can invite them. You didn't do that. You went in and it happened naturally, which is what Jen does. It totally happens naturally for her. That's the idea. It's just that sometimes we we just go into, we have to like put that aside and just like
right.
I honestly think that will help me too, like not go into it as desperate or as
robotically, like this is what I'm supposed to do. Like,
right.
It's genuine.
Because it's going to do some of that legwork for me that I'll be able to be like, who do I get to talk to today? Like, who do I get to like check, like see how their life is and like ask questions and like, it's exciting. And I do feel that way when I go in, when someone likes my post and I do go to their page and I like check them out and stalk them. And so I'm not faking it because I don't, and there are times where I'm like, nah, not going to message them because I'm just not, I have nothing, like there's no feeling there. But if I'm like, oh, this person is really cool, like, or I'm just like, wow, that's hilarious. Like they just, then I feel connected, you know?
I agree. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Elizabeth is on, I think. So I just want to ask her if she has any questions, if she's able to talk. Elizabeth, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Did you?
Yeah, I've been listening kind of on and off.
Okay.
I think I kind of have to go back to understand a little more. I don't know if you guys have been showing anything on the screen, but it sounds like something I would want to kind of look into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you have any questions? It doesn't have to be about Team Z, but just like the concepts we're talking about with like relationship building and time management, power hour kind of stuff.
No, not yet.
Okay. Cool.
I'll ask you guys once I think a little more.
Absorb it, yeah.
I'm kind of running around a little bit.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I thought that this would be, when Kelly said, like, I kind of want to talk about it, I'm like, well, I think we need to do a call on it because it's not, for me, this topic is much deeper than just, like, Team Z or a tool that you could use. It's like, there's a thread amongst our team, at least. Kirsty's going to watch this too, but in our team, there's definitely a thread, and it, I'm sure, stems from me, of like not, just feeling stuck and feeling almost like overwhelmed to being paralyzed, like, or like, yeah, it's a simple business. You just got to do these 4 vital behaviors, which is true. Well, inviting is one of those behaviors. And how do you do that? And also, what was I going to say? It's almost like, I think some of my coaches feel like it's a mystery. Would that be correct, Kelly?
Yeah. It's like, no matter how many videos I watched, I watched so many trainings, I read so many that, everything on the Get Started, the TKO training page. Like, I feel like I did everything I could to try and understand how to go about starting conversations, and for some reason it just was not clicking to me. Like I couldn't do it without it being awkward and like without feeling like I was cold messaging people and feeling weird, and like, so this is the first time And there are a couple videos on the Invite Academy that where it was finally starting to click for me, and I was like, okay, like this is good stuff.
Can you recall? Okay, because the only ones I just don't think I watched all of them. So for those watching, Invite Academy is in TKO social media and challenge group ideas group.
Yeah, click videos, and it's like I can't remember. I think it says Invite Academy on it.
How many do you think there are?
Maybe like 8.
Oh, there are that many. Okay, so I should go back.
There's quite a few, and I think I have one more to watch, but I've been so like stuck on this whole Teamsy thing.
Right. Okay, well that's helpful to know.
Yeah, but I'll post the video for that Teamsy thing, and I told myself I'm gonna give it 2 to 3 months. Like I'll pay for it, until the end of July, and
do it.
It's me. Like I'm curious to know like what my Success Club rate is, and I will follow up with everybody and let you know. But I have a really good feeling about it. Like I don't know if I'd actually done a full power hour with like inviting included, and like this tool helped me do that. Like I think I did my first power hour last week just because I signed up for this thing, and it made it so easy and like intuitive, and so I think even watching
I definitely think if you're gonna be doing a power hour every day, you're gonna hit Success Club for sure.
Yeah, this weekend it didn't happen, but I want to try and make it every day, but weekends are so like, I don't know why they're so stinking busy between church and the baby. It's like,
well, yeah. Well, and your husband's not home to be able to say, okay, can I have 2 hours?
Right.
By myself or something like that. Right. So it is harder.
Oh, that would be magical.
But even 5 days a week is a good thing to aim for. 5 power hours a week is great. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep us posted. And what was I gonna say? I don't know. That's it. That's all I got. So we'll see if anyone has questions or what they are thinking about this. Okay. So I'm going to stop recording.